Well, so we're now live, so hopefully if there's anyone, so when we don't show it now, but maybe when we get people on, you can show them, and then like if somebody else may be like, oh my god, you should do this, or I had that same problem. So that blows though.
Well, whatever. I mean, at least thank goodness for phones, so I'm still here. So
Your hair looks great though. Do you have extensions in right now?
yeah, I have for like months.
It's really hard for me to like, because you took them out, you put them back in, and I couldn't remember. But they look your hair looks lovely. I was gonna be like, my god, it looks just like you have extensions. That's why I asked.
I have my tresses in. My tresses.
Your tresses look lovely. Meanwhile, as your hair gets longer and longer, my hair gets shorter and shorter and shorter. Like my mohawk. Here, check it out. What?
I don't like mohawks. This is not my thing.
Well, also you can barely tell it's a real mohawk right now, but like, I think I might actually grow it tall. If you have your computer, which you don't, so sorry to add insult to injury, I was gonna actually suggest that you go look up this guy Faderhead. You know what, maybe I'll look him up. I'll look up Faderhead and I'll put it here so you can see what he looks like. Because his name is Sammy. He's a German, great musician, just really good. Very consistent. He's like an artist that I'm very impressed with your consistency. Anyway, look at that. He's super hot. You can't really tell here that he's super hot, but you could also be.
Yeah, because now my computer is still it's like super slow, but
it's a bit hard for you to hear Saira. Okay, don't worry. Hold on. Let's see what I can.
I'm gonna come back.
She's gonna come back. Okay, go away. Yeah. So, whoa! Look at this, guys. This is weird. Here, I'll be here. I'll put my head here so that it's. Yeah, Saira is having trouble with her her phone. So, or a computer, and so she got on her phone. Hi, Laura. Hi, Peggy. Hello, Haley. Thank you, by the way, Haley. So I'm going to need you to let me know if it's okay when she comes back. If not, I can increase the volume for her when she gets in. Thank you for letting me know, though. I appreciate it, because you know how it is. Like, I feel like I'm slower than I would like to be in terms of my evolution on these things. Like, I really want to be spending more time on, like, getting the audio right and the video right. The issue that I'm running into is that I hate this studio. I hate this studio so bad. Like, I just hate it. And so I don't want to be in here. And so I'm trying to like, look, she's back. And so I'm trying to like figure out what I want to do before I spend a lot of time fixing something. So, look at that. She's here. Sister. All right. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. But you're right. I think she's a little low. How is it? Hold on. You know what I think? Saira, speak.
Yes, hello, I'm speaking.
All right. So, Haley, can you let me know if that's better? I turned on the desktop audio, so you may be getting her audio as well. So now that should work better, because I think before you were probably only getting her through my mic. Now you're getting her through the full thing. So, Saira, say something about your life.
I'm really sleepy today, and it snowed. It's cold, and I was just going to the grocery store, but I really don't want to go to the grocery store because I'm allergic to cold.
Okay, stop talking. No one's interested anymore. I'm kidding.
Well, I could have insulted your mohawk, but instead I decided to just talk about,
She doesn't like my mohawk. She thinks my mohawk. So
no.
What's your problem with mohawks?
Not that I don't like your mohawk. I don't like
mohawks in general. Fair. Yeah, she doesn't like mohawks.
But I also recognize that my style doesn't work for a lot of people. So it's one of those
Well, your tresses are lovely, though. Like, you have lovely tresses.
Mermaid.
I was watching Alton Brown last night, so I couldn't sleep last night. I think I'm about to start my period because I couldn't sleep. I was restless. Like, my mind was racing, and I was like, oh my God. And then Alex started snoring, and I was just like, oh, I am just so beyond annoyed tonight.
That's the worst.
I went into the living room to sleep, but I'm so hypersensitive that in this house, I can hear when the heater kicks on, like in the base, like in the crawl space, and I can feel the vibrations like through the sofa. So I couldn't really sleep there, but I turned on Alton Brown to distract me. And he was wearing a shirt that looked like it had your little bloody red shoes behind it, all just literally like everywhere, all over his shirt. And I thought to myself, he's wearing Le Bouton. Is that what they're called? Yeah, look at me remembering that. He had those all over his shirt. Christy says that mohawks are just so simple. I wish they were simple, but like I have this thing back here that's kind of just like,
oh my God, look, I have it too.
It's so oh my God, it's so annoying.
It's funny because it's this.
It's this, yeah. It's like this spot right here, and it's like, what the hell?
Here's what's funny. Avery also has it. And so Avery's hair does this all the time when it's like
Oh
newly
my God.
washed. She has this like fountain.
It's like that one thing.
like
It's
so
always
I totally feel
it's always
So-
that thing. Oh my God, who else has that? What did you say?
Speaking of these shoes, I just had to share with you. I was reading because you know how it is, you get sucked into Facebook and all their like stupid shit. Anyway, so there was a thing on Bridezillas, and I was like, there's no way this was an actual bride, right? This had to have been someone thought to themselves, okay, let's make the most outlandish bride story we can and put it on Facebook and say that it was true because it was so ridiculous. So this woman apparently told her, like everyone she invited to her wedding, that they all had to spend at least $1,000 on their outfit. And the inspiration pieces she posted for them to buy, one of them was these shoes, which those shoes alone I think are like $600.
I was gonna say those are expensive shoes.
And then she had these requirements, like if you weigh between 120 and 160, you have to wear these colors. If you weigh 160 and 1 to 200, you have to wear all black. Like,
wow, dude,
crazy.
this is real. People really do this shit.
But then she like roasted people who shared her ridiculous wedding requirements on the interwebs, and obviously, you know,
Right, because she's like, I can't believe you guys did this. It's my special day.
Yeah.
Elisa loves
I don't know
Bridezilla
what
stories.
Yeah.
Dude,
Anyway,
Bridezillas are insane. Oh my God, it's awful.
So speaking of Bridezilla, so I actually, it's funny, I always thought I'd be a Bridezilla because like I'm a very high maintenance person, but actually at my wedding, I was like,
No, you're
we
just
threw our
a
wedding
person
together.
Zilla. That's all. Don't worry. You were
It-
fine
right.
for your
I'm like,
wedding. You're just generally a Zilla.
But then wouldn't I have also been a Zilla at my wedding? You would think, right? So anyway,
The only problem we had at your wedding was zipping you in. Sorry, go on.
let's go. I was 3 months pregnant and I had giant boobs. But what was funny is that anyway, not funny, but like the place where we got married is closing to like it's a restaurant. You remember the Mile Away?
Yeah, absolutely. It was
It's
adorable
like
inn in New Hampshire.
Oh,
up
yeah.
in so sweet. Like
It's like
classical New
Norwegian
England.
inspired. Yeah, it was built by Norwegians. It was very beautiful. I loved it. Anyway, they're closing and they're only now going to have weddings. They're not, or events like. bar
Oh,
mitzvahs
okay.
and
So they're closing the restaurant.
Right, which sucks because I mean I haven't been in so long. So anyway, so this weekend I think we're going
Oh, nice.
because they closed January 3rd. So Carol and Butch and I were like, oh my God, we should go. So they do 5-course meals. You can get like a soup and a salad and an entree and like all this stuff. So we're really excited. It's going to be fun because the kids are going to go and it's like a fancy
Oh,
restaurant.
how
So-
fun. That's amazing. And take a lot of pictures because, I mean, obviously they're closing
I
down
know.
now. You're going to want to have those pictures. Absolutely.
Well, and I realized I suck at taking pictures. Like I take pictures for a living. And so I think for me, because I do that, I hate taking pictures. Like when I'm out and about, I'm really in the moment. I don't take
Me too.
pictures. And so, but I was thinking, I don't have a lot, like we do so much with Butch and Carol, right? My in-laws, like we do so much with them. And I'm like, oh, I wish I took more pictures of all the things we do together, like all the family dinners and the family game
Yeah,
nights,
mhm.
you know, so I need to be better about that because I personally like pictures, like looking at them later. So, but something has been lost. Like the whole iPhone thing or instant photo thing is so different than the rushing to get your Kodaks pictures from the developer and knowing that you only took like, you know, how many good pictures did I get?
You know, I
never
don't
know.
feel like anything's actually been like, yes, that experience has been lost, but I don't feel like that has to diminish from the, like, that's kind of, you know, I feel like the way that like that philosophy comes a lot from the just because things were older, they were better. They were better. It was shit. Like it was
rose-colored glasses.
exactly. Like it's
view.
not like I've really tried hard over the last because for me, I get very, and you're like this too. So is Dad. It's just it runs in our family. We're really nostalgic and we tend to really think that the days before were better. And it's not until you start being mindful that you realize, you know what, it actually is better now. Like, obviously, back then, I was a different person. I liked who I was then. I loved that I had that experience. But I don't want to go back to the days where I took pictures on a roll of film, then had to take it back to CVS. And then, you know, I don't want to do that. If you want to do that, I support you.
Well, but I think it's different because like it's different to go back knowing what you know now. I think that I think what people miss is the world before you.
Yes,
knew the world.
absolutely. But I think
You know?
the thing that you brought up though, like, and I think that this is important because it confluences two separate issues. The first one is you don't have time to take pictures. The second one is, days of old, right? So like, I feel like we're going to break those apart because like LaFern mentioned, LaFern mentioned that I don't remember to take pics when I'm out and about, and I don't remember to take pics when I'm out and about. But the problem is that here's what we actually miss. What we actually miss is that it had to be very intentional before because you were looking for the actual photograph. You wanted to save it. It was going to go in a book. There were things you were going to do and you were preserving your memories. I think the issue that's happened now is we take pictures all the time. Constantly.
Yeah.
We're just taking pictures. And so we don't think about when is it actually meaningful for us to take pictures, right? So you waste all your time. And I don't think it's a waste of time, but like in terms of like 30 years from now, you're not going to give a shit that you took a picture of a dress and, you know, of yourself in a dress. But
Exactly.
you are going to care that you took pictures of you and Carol and Butch, right? And I do the same thing with talking to people. That's my problem. Same thing, but talking.
I think that I think it's true that when you can take a picture of everything, nothing is special, right? Because before, when you only had one roll of film that cost a lot of money, right? And you knew you had to pay to get them developed. If you took them in and you had 10 out of 30 pictures that sucked, you're like, oh my God, I basically lit that money on fire. And you look at the pictures and you're like, yes, either A, I took the pictures of all the moments I wanted to capture, or B, oh damn, I missed that moment. And you can't get that moment back. Like that moment's gone. Whereas now with our modern technology, which was sci-fi when we were kids, right? Like, I mean, I was thinking about even just as recently as, like I was talking to Eliza about when I used to work with you at the front desk at 6 Arlington Street.
Yeah.
When
we were in college.
Desk sitting.
Yeah. And
I was like, even then, I remember getting my first cellular one flip cell phone. And that was in 1998.
Oh, yeah. And I made fun of you. Oh my God, I gave you so much shit. I was like, I can't believe you're getting a cell phone. What are you? But like, I thought it was in that time where like, when you think you're all that, why do you need a cell phone?
Right. And I nobody called. And you pay 10 cents a text. Okay. So
yes.
Like, if somebody texted you, you were like, bastard, don't text me. Like,
you're costing me money. Oh, and also it was like you bought by minutes, like 120 minutes.
You'd be like, okay, on my cellular one, and oh my God, no more minutes, turn off my phone. So, and then you had to use a phone card to call people overseas, right? So if I were to call Emmy or Dad or whatever, like if it was $1 a minute, like I'd buy a phone card from the store where I buy my cigarettes and my Dr. Pepper, and it would cost me like $25, and I would maybe get, 30 minutes of talk time to call the UK. Whereas now, I mean, it's just that whole experience is different. For my kids, the idea of paying by the minute or paying by the text is like ludicrous. I mean, you can imagine.
Or paying by the hour for your internet, where you only get like so many hours of internet, and you're like, that's it, you get 10 hours. Oh my God. So Elisa said that when she lived in Australia, they budgeted $400 a month for phone calls back home. Dude, it was expensive. When we lived in Pakistan, we had to, so the way that we couldn't actually make calls. Oh, this is actually really good, because most of you guys have never experienced this unless you've lived overseas or are, I'm trying to think, like, I don't even know how old you'd have to be to have experienced this in the United States, where you basically, so for us to be able to call overseas, we had to call the operator 0102, and we'd have to be, I'd like to book a call to America in intervals of 3 minutes. So 3, 6, or 12. 12 was the max.
3, 6, 9, or 12.
3, 6, 9, or 12. 12 was the max.
And interestingly enough, 12 was also called open.
Open. Yes. It's like, you like to leave it open, right? Leave it open, which means it would just end after 12 minutes.
Yeah. So I don't ever got that. It's like, why was that ever open? Because it's not open. But I guess
it closes after 12 minutes.
But you can hang up at 10, and maybe that's what it was. It's like if you booked a call for 12 minutes, maybe that's what it was. Maybe if you booked the call for 12 minutes, you were charged for 12 minutes. No,
you were charged at 3 minutes, 3-minute increments.
Okay. See, that makes no sense.
Who knows why? So they'd call and they'd be like, okay, hold on. Yeah. So then you'd hang up the phone, and then they would do the call, and then they'd call you back. And then they would connect the call between America or overseas and you. Elisa asked, they have, did Pakistan have party lines? No, we didn't have party lines. No. Yeah, no, we wouldn't have party lines. No party lines.
We had prank calling. That was called
We had a lot of prank calling. I prank called Mason once. I remember vividly. I told him my name was Melissa.
So one time we used to get together with my best friend, her sister, and then me and Minessa, and we would study all night because we'd have major finals, and we lived like super close to the school, whereas Farah and her sister lived far away. So they would spend the night at our house and we would cram together and whatever. Well, one night this guy crank called us, and I can't remember what it was. Our mom was really sickly, so she may have been sleeping and my dad may have been traveling. But anyway, it was basically like we were alone at the house with like a woman, you know what I mean? Like not exactly the safest thing to be. And this guy kept crank calling, and I don't remember what happened, but I did something to upset my best friend's sister, and she came over, and I was very small. I think I weighed like 80 pounds. So she was like, 130. So she was bigger than me. And she slapped me across the face so hard. I think my head dislocated. I remember
it was like a big slap. It was huge.
Right. I was like, am I going to be internally decapitated? Because it was so
like a full swing whoopish.
Full on chamart, right? Like we call it a chamart in Urdu. And Minessa was furious. She was like, oh, you did not just slap my sister.
Oh
Even I don't slap my sister. And it was like so dramatic. I think that we were just so overtired.
No, I'll tell you what it was. So by the way, Elisa used to prank call in high school like it was her part-time job.
I mean, we were eating coffee grounds. Do you remember that?
To stay awake. It was not coffee grounds. We were eating instant coffee. Here's why she slapped you. So I can fill in the blanks on that. So we had this huge sliding glass door that looked out into our garden that then looked over into our neighbor's house and then like a whole, and there was a wall, like a boundary wall between the houses about 7 or 8 feet. So the guy, huh?
They were not 7 feet. They were like 10 feet.
Okay, sure. Yeah. 10 feet. However tall they were tall. And I would say she's right over me. So he was prank calling us and he said that he could see what we were doing. And so he was being really creepy. And like, so he would call and then he would like say, I can see you in your living room. And so Nadia was getting hysterical and we were all getting hysterical and no one was home. And we closed the blinds so that he wouldn't see us, but we were all scared, terrified teenagers. And I think it was the pressure of having some random, because it's Pakistan, you know, I mean, we know what kind of stuff that is. So we were really scared. That's what it was. And she slapped you because she was like, you're hysterical. Slap you.
That's right. I was like, what the heck is going on?
It's like Mrs. Peacock. She's like,
yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute, you're hysterical. Why are you slapping me?
You're the hysterical one. Why are you slapping me? But anyway, yeah. So that was, Are you? But anyway.
Okay. Hold on. Christy says that they called collect from a payphone waiting for the prompt to say your name so you could say, Mom, it's me, pick me up from Jessica's beep.
Yes.
The charges.
I think that on TV.
You know, I've never actually done that, but I've heard it enough to where I have put myself into those memories and have imagined that I have done it. That I've imagined. I don't even, how did we get on this conversation, Si?
I have no idea. I was telling Butchie the other day how I was going to take his cell phone away, like just because like he wouldn't, there was something I was asking him, he was being like a punk and it was like all very funny, like fun and games. And I said, you know what? I was like, I'm calling Verizon right now and I am canceling your phone line. And I'm like, ooh, watch me do it. I was like, ooh, here I am. I'm calling Verizon. And he was just like, whatevs. And I was sitting there and I thought to myself, how does one actually navigate the world as a teenager today without a cell phone? Like simple things, like every day when he gets out of school, he sends me a text message. And even down to like, this is going to sound so terrible, but like, I mean, Christy can probably like, because she lives in Michigan, but like all the stuff that happens in schools these days, I'm like, I don't know that I could send my kid. I'd be so scared for him not to be able to reach me during the day if there was some like emergency at the school, like if there was a fire or like, I mean, they do school shooter drills. I'm like, if there was some kind of like horrific emergency, like I would want him to have a cell phone. And I thought about that and I was like, gosh, like how different it must have been for our parents. And maybe because they didn't know that was ever an option. So for us to be sent to school and just left with no way to contact them.
That was never even an option for anyone ever. So you don't really think of, oh, how do I live this way? It's just, this is the way it is, right? Your kids go off to school, you know, it's like, and you know, I remember how we got on this conversation. We were talking about taking pictures, right? And I want to go back to that because that was important, right? Because like the thing is that we're all business owners here. And one of the biggest issues and struggles that everybody has with their business is, what do I put on social media? Right. And these pictures that you take for your own memory will also become social media posts later, because these are the things that you enjoy doing, right? So like whenever you say, I don't know what to write about, my next statement is, okay, well, you know, what do you enjoy doing? And if you're not doing something you enjoy doing, then that's why you have nothing to write about. So do something you enjoy doing. That's something you enjoy doing. So I think it's also, so it's one, I think it's important because you can use it for many things later, but I think it's also important because like, you know, you're going to regret it later, right? So like every time I look at my photo thing, I think to myself, man, I wish I had more pictures of this time. And I feel like I'm not intentional enough about it. And so like, I want to be more intentional. So I've tried to be like, okay, take a picture. Alex tries to remember. So we have those things. Cause like we have the ability, like the thing that I regret the most in the world is that I have other than one brief, this long clip, I don't have any recordings of my mom's voice, right? So like we just have that one recording. But like, and
I'm pretty sure when she was sick and dying, I had an iPhone.
Did you?
So I think so. Or maybe I
thought she wanted to be recorded when she was sick and dying. That's not really, I don't
know. But she was sick and dying after a certain point. Like, I mean, so when I worked at the Brigham and before she was dying, she was just sick. And we have pictures of her. She was hurt.
No, I don't think so. And you know why? It's because we have the pictures that we have of her from that time are printed pictures that I scanned in. But I think it might have been, you know what? We had digital cameras.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
I think we had digital. Guys, does anybody know when okay, you know what? Why don't we just look this up on Google? Like, seriously, I can just look this up on Google. All right, when did iPhones happen? Okay, I don't know why I typed it in when. Okay, January. Oh, nope. The iPhone 2007.
Okay, all right.
So there was no iPhone in 2005.
So what the hell phone did we have?
Probably a flip phone.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go popular self. Oh no, we had Blackberries.
Oh, I loved my BlackBerry. Guys,
That's what we had. Blackberries.
Oh my God, my BlackBerry. I loved my BlackBerry.
Because we worked at the Brigham and we had Mark and we would communicate a lot and it was the BlackBerry. Yep, that's what it was.
Ultimate.
So yeah, there was no phone.
Christy, ultimate Gen X response. Why are we arguing when we can just Google this? I was like, why are we doing this? I don't understand why we're having this conversation. Let's just look it up online.
Yeah, let's just look it up online. Minessa, do you remember the book Wait Till Helen Comes?
Oh my God, I love that book.
Who
else read that book? Oh, it's amazing.
For Eliza for Christmas because she liked scary stuff and I was like, oh my God, that book was so good.
Wait Till Helen Comes. And hold on, I have another. Oh my God, it's an author. His name is hold on, his name is John something. I'll find his name for you. He writes a lot of really great scary mystery novels about basically somebody remind me. Okay, so there's this dude. Huh? No. There's this dude, he has a nephew, and his nephew comes to live with him in his old ancient house, and his uncle and him basically solve ghost mysteries and things like that in the house. It's like super fun. It's young adult. I read them a lot when I was younger. They were some of my favorite books, and I know I have one here, so I'll find it.
Oh, wow.
But those are literally my favorite scary books when I was a kid. They were so fun.
I want everybody to look this up. If you have children, do people here have kids?
Everybody has kids here. Yeah, I am the outlier. They either have kids or grandkids.
I stumbled across this website and oh my gosh, I need to show you this to you guys. Okay, look at this. So you can, where are you?
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
Right? So you can.
That's amazing.
This is for Eliza, right? So it's basically like an adventure book. And then there was one for, yeah, there we go. Look at the three of them.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
And it's like an adventure book. And I'm whispering so I don't want her to hear me. So like it's an adventure book. There's all kinds of like there's different styles. So it's kind of like a Where's Waldo, but it's like a journey and a story together. But that your child, up to 3 kids, are characters in the book. That's right. So I paid a little bit of money for it. I ended up paying like, I think $100 for 3 books. But I was like, it's totally worth it. Dude, so it'll be a unique Christmas gift.
Christy has the book. Jennifer has the book. They love it. They've got the book.
Oh, they have them?
Yeah, they have the book.
So why did no one tell me about them?
Well, you're way behind the scenes. Guys, okay, so Jennifer, Christy, all of you guys, I want to give you a piece of... Why am I talking so quiet? So I want to give you guys a piece of advice. I don't know why I did that. So here's what I give you guys a piece of advice. Every single one of you. Saira just said something to you guys, and all of you were like, oh my God, I have that book. That's amazing, right? You need to now go on your personal profile, business page, wherever, group, however, whatever you feel like. And now you need to go share that you have this book. You need to tell everybody what it's about. And you need to tell them that this is a great, unique idea for a Christmas gift. Okay. Your audiences are going to love it because your audiences are you. Yep. So this is a really great opportunity. Go share it because Saira learned about this from somebody that isn't you guys. Right. And that's a crime.
I learned it on a Facebook ad.
That's a crime. Total crime. Use it every year. Every year you should. So basically what you want to do now is write the post. Saira, you need to do this too. Write the post and then put in your calendar for next year, write post for Where's Blah Blah Book. And now you have a post built in, already done, that you don't have to worry about next year. Dude, it's brilliant. I love it. I love this so much. And also, excited. Bonus, if you have any other present like that you found, just make posts about that because this is the value. It doesn't matter what you sell. This is the value. Right now, the only thing anybody cares about is what present should I buy my kids that's going to get them excited and not think I'm lame or a loser.
Like right now, I'm so stressed because I came up with this idea last year, right? Because like Christmas for me, and actually this is great for business owners if you're looking for ideas like to kind of do something different for your business. Like Christmas morning for me used to be like my favorite holiday. I loved waking up on Christmas. I loved opening presents. My mom was so thoughtful about her gifts. Like I loved Christmas. I loved Christmas. So when I became an adult, I tend to buy things for myself, right? When I want something, I just buy it. And so it makes it really hard for people to buy presents for me because if I want something, I tend to buy it, right? So it's like, so for my poor husband, he never knows what to get for me. So Christmas morning for me kind of sucks from the regard of me getting presents. Like I love to give other people gifts. So that part's fun. But I'm sitting there with nothing to open. And it's kind of like I thought to myself last year, I'm like, gosh, there must be so many moms or people that live alone that go through this. They wake up Christmas morning and they don't have anything to open. So I came up with this idea that I would basically let you buy a gift for yourself, right? And I would wrap 5 to 7 presents into this gift box. Like it's rose gold, it's shiny and pretty. But the idea being like fill a need that your customers have so that like if it's something, and maybe they haven't even thought that it was a need, maybe they don't even know. And that's why storytelling is so important. Because like for me, if I just posted, hey, buy yourself a present, there's nothing magical about that, right? You have to connect with people and tell them the story about where this comes from, because the story is what has meaning and people relate to those stories. And that's why people choose you to like hang out with or come visit with or spend time in your group. It's because they connect with you. And the only way people can connect is if you tell a story that resonates with them. So today we're launching, I think today or tomorrow, we're launching our mini treat box, which is another like, hey, easy gift for people. So there's
good. I need more chocolate and candy. But I want to come back to that.
I thought you were stopping all that.
I've stopped a lot of it. Oh, but, okay, so
how's the no Dr. Pepper going?
It's going great. I just stopped.
Oh, good.
What I'm missing is I need my sugar. I need my treat sugar, and I don't. So what I have been eating is your sour belts. Okay, so like
These are so addictive.
I wish I had some. Oh, I've made them even more addictive. Like I've made this crack last forever. Okay, so here's what I do with it. I pull out, and then I basically take because it's basically like bubblegum tape. So then I basically take a very thin strip and I pull it off. So now I have a long thin spaghetti of the sour strip. Then I eat the little spaghetti and I just sit and eat it in little bits and pieces, and it lasts so much longer. And the ratio of sour to sweet is different. So I love it. It's like the best way to eat it.
But you don't like the rainbow ones.
I don't, but now that I've started eating it this way, I might. So maybe we could try that because like I only recently started eating it this way. This is
Did you see the before and after I posted yesterday, by the way?
Before and after of you?
Yeah.
Dude, I was wondering. Oh my God. Whoa, where do those bangs come from?
Oh, it's a wig.
It's like, what the hell?
But look, I like them.
Put it back. No, put it back. No, dude, it looks great. I like them. Wow, dude. I was caught up in the
so different.
You look so different. How do you feel? I
have 10 times the energy that I used to. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I went to Costco the other day and I picked up, this is when Dad was here, and I picked up 2 25-pound bags of flour to see like what it would feel like. And it is so heavy. Like extra weight on your body is not just about vanity. I mean, it is really hard on your systems. Like, I mean, just carrying, like I just walked around the store for like 2 minutes holding these 2 bags of flour. And I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of work. So obviously it's distributed across your body. So it feels different to carry 50 pounds of weight that's distributed around your person. But it's still 50 pounds. So I feel a lot better. Definitely a lot better.
I think a lot of it, I think it's not just the weight though. Like I know that like weight is a big aspect of it for you because that was really, really important to you. I come at it from a different angle just because over the last few years, I've just lost interest in my weight in terms of what it actually is, and more of like okay, this is just generally what my weight is when I'm eating well, and this is my weight is when I'm eating poorly. So use it as like an indicator of like what I'm like for my body. So someone else may have a different weight, right? So for someone else who, they may have like a different weight for them. We're like, okay, if I'm X weight, then I'm good. If I'm Y weight, then I'm not, depending on whatever it is and whatever scale it is. I think for me, stopping the Dr. Pepper has really helped in terms of just my general yo-yoing, because you have like the sugar and the caffeine and up and down and up and down. I think the thing that has really impacted me more on is psychologically. Like I feel like I'm lacking like something that is dear to me, and it's not like it's something that's like I don't even want a lot of Dr. Pepper. I just want that first sip of like Doc Peps, and then you're
I drink seltzer. Seltzer gives the same bubbly.
No, it doesn't. See, here's the thing. I appreciate that you think so, and I appreciate that it does that for you, and I'm glad you found a solution. It does not do the same for me, so I don't have that option.
What I'm trying to tell you is that I also was like you. Yeah. So like the very first time I drank seltzer, I had the same responses you did, where it was like it tasted so bitter.
Didn't we talk about this last week, that I need to wait like a few months and then go pick up seltzer? Yeah, Elisa, that's what she said. She said wait a few months.
Right. But I was going to say, make sure you do it with like lime, because you liked fresh lime 7-Up. So if you add, I've done
it with lime. I don't like it with lime. We literally had this exact conversation last week.
Key lime is sweeter. Speaking of which, okay, can you add, I don't have my text open here. People who make key lime pie Anybody who makes key lime pie, I have purchased fresh squeezed bottled key lime juice, and I'm hoping that it will give me the same taste as fresh squeezed, because key limes, if you've never made first of all, if you've never made a key lime pie, it's very easy to make, but the squeezing the juice out of these teeny tiny lemon parts is not so easy.
Oh my God.
So I'm very nervous to make key lime pie for Christmas dessert, because I'm like, what if it tastes like, you know how sometimes lime flavoring can taste soapy?
Yes. Well,
So
it tastes like Vim.
Yes, exactly.
It
Oh
would
my
taste
God,
like our
Vim.
dish soap from Pakistan when we were younger.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah. Do you remember the smell of Dettol?
You've jumped ahead so far. I need to jump back. You jumped ahead.
Sorry.
You were just like, she's run off. And I'm like, wait, let's come back to that amazing idea you had earlier. Come back. Let's go back to that thing that you talked about of like, you're talking about opening Christmas presents on the day of, and it's like, and people are super lonely. Like they want their own presents, blah, blah. Like, this is a really powerful thing to do for your audience, is put together something like that lets them open the packages in the morning. Now what Saira said, it was interesting, and that's what I want to go back to, was the storytelling. Is that's really the key area there that I want to go to, because a lot of people, and I've discovered this over the last several days. I've actually had the great privilege of talking to a lot of really, really smart people who are well ahead of me on their journey business-wise. And we've talked about a lot of different things, and I've learned a great deal about just business in general, just in terms of like things that I thought that I was pretty sure were the case. Now I feel way more confident about. And what I found is that all of us think that the sale happens because you make the post saying, here's the thing that I have. So Saira was saying, here's my presents. Here's the thing that I have. I'm excited about this thing that I have. Here's the thing. I'm excited by the thing. And we think that that's the post that's selling it. What we don't realize is that post is doing nothing. That post is only sealing the deal. That's it. It's the only thing it's capable of doing. It can't do anything else. There are a series of other posts that have to come before that are your storytelling posts, where you create the need, right? Where you're talking about why. So Saira, she told that story so well just now of her sitting in front of the Christmas tree, and she's sitting there and everybody's opening presents and she's not opening presents. Like, and honestly, I never buy her a present, and I was like, oh, I should get Saira a present this year. And I quickly decided not to, but I really did think that I should do that. I was like, oh God, I should get Saira a present. I feel so bad for her, right? She doesn't get a Christmas present. So sad.
Speaking of which, you guys aren't coming for Christmas, right?
Well, we were planning on coming for Christmas, but we don't have to.
Oh, you were planning on it?
Huh? Well, I mean, we don't have to talk about this right now.
I was just thinking, I just didn't realize. I'm just in shock. Okay, so go on.
I mean, hey, we might not. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go anywhere. What the fuck? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah.
So, storytelling.
Yeah, I feel like my sales posts, Elisa says, I feel like my sales posts are only one of the 5 to 7 touches needed before someone buys. That's it.
That's the fact.
That's the fact. That's the magic. And most people don't do that. Most people never do that. And they are concerned about their sales. And I'm like, well, how many, for every sales post, you need 5 to 7 not sales posts.
I have checked out so many groups and honestly, and profiles, and I am amazed at how many people are obsessed with selling, and there's nothing else going on. And like, even though they know that they need to do it, it's so difficult for them, because I think it's like when you first started this, if you say, I don't know what to post about. I don't think I've had that feeling of I don't know what to post about in probably 3 years now, because I post what matters to me. I post like I'm talking to my best friend, like I'm calling Fada up on the phone, or I'm calling you up on the phone. Like, I don't think about it. It's just whatever. Like this morning I woke up and there was snow outside. I took a picture. I told the story about snow, and it doesn't have to be a novel, right? Like I tend to be very loquacious, so I can go on for like a million years, but you can tell a story that's short, like 3 sentences. It doesn't have to be long. The point is, somebody out there is going to see that picture of snow and have a visceral reaction. I love snow. I hate snow. Snow makes me want to throw up. My dogs hate the snow, right? There's some story of their own that's related to snow. Maybe that picture is enough to get them to actually say something. Maybe it's only enough to get them to engage with the emoji, or, a smile or a like or whatever. But the point is that as long as they're doing something, right, it's working. And I think that's the most important thing, is people are not going to be inclined to give of themselves, either financially or emotionally, if you don't give of yourself first. It's a relationship. You have to kind of quid pro quo, you know what I mean? So I definitely think that if you're finding in your business that you're not seeing the kind of activity that you want, look at your page. Are you obvious there? Is the personality outside of the product you sell something that's evident to people? Because 9 times out of 10, a stranger coming in there looking at it, it's not. It really isn't.
Do you remember the conversation you and I had that actually solved that problem for you?
I don't remember specifics, but I remember the conversation. I
remember the specifics because I took that and turned it into part of the Roadmap to Success training.
Okay.
So what happened was Saira and I were on the phone, and this was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was a particularly frustrating conversation because we're in that target audience mode where you're kind of you were literally right there, like you were right about to figure everything out. But you were right on the cusp of it, and I could tell you were on the cusp of it, but you were still stuck with the way that you thought things should be. And so you were still like posting, right? So you said, I don't know what to post. And I said, well, okay, you need to post about things that, you're interested in or people are interested in, blah, blah. And you said, so I said, okay, well, listen, you need to post about things that people want to talk about, right? If people are not going to engage on sales posts, they're going to engage on things that they want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget what you said. You said the thing that I've heard from everyone. But I don't want it to be fake. I want it to be authentic. I want it to be me, yeah. Right? And I hear that all the time, right? And we think that talking about things that people are interested in automatically means that we're not being authentic. So I asked you a question and I said, what? Okay. All right, great. I was like, let me show you how this actually works practically speaking so you can see. And I was like, what show are you watching right now? And the show.
Oh, yes, I remember. Yep.
Do you remember what you said?
I was watching. What was I watching?
It popped out of her mouth so fast. Nope, it was way faster than that. I said, "What are you watching?" And she said, "Grace and Frankie," and I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, Grace and Frankie.
I was like, with the level of enthusiasm you just brought to this answer, right before I even had the words out of my mouth, she said, "Grace and Frankie," and I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, have you watched the most recent episode where I think we're going to get investment for the Rise Up?" And you were like, "Yeah," and there was something funny that happened, and I was like, "Okay, tell that experience," and she's like,
yeah.
"That's it." And I was like, that's it. Just write about Grace and Frankie. So she went and she wrote about Grace and Frankie and it worked. And she was like, holy shit, that's it. And that starts the difference. So the key thing is you're making it so much more complicated than it needs to be by selling all the time. You don't need to sell this much. You could post a lot less than you actually do if you replace some of your sales posts with more of you.
Well, like last night, it was kind of funny because I got these crushed velvet bell bottoms and I curled my hair, like, I went through all this effort and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a picture of these. I'm going to like have fun with it. And I did a teaser post.
Oh, those bell bottoms were huge.
They're so cute though. And I was like, and I can't believe how much interaction I got. I posted on my personal profile. I wasn't trying to sell. I just said, I am team 70s fashion for life. Right. And because all I could think of was I'm Kate Hudson and Almost Famous. Like, I love everything about this. Like, I put the pants on and I was transported. Like, I felt like a new woman. It was so great. And I could see the confidence I had in myself in the photograph, and the interaction I got on my personal profile was crazy. I was like, seriously, from a pair of bell bottoms? And then I ended up adding like 10 people to my group from just that post. 3 new customers went and shopped my website. I was like, are you kidding? I wasn't trying to sell when I made that post. I literally was posting because I felt really great in the pants and it was a fun picture. And I was like, you know what? I am team 70s fashion forever because the 70s rocked. So I'm going to post this. And it just ended up being one of those posts that did really, really well. And it's like the post that I can't remember who did the video of the kids.
Tiffany of the unicorn frosting.
Yeah.
In the social strategy squad. She had a couple of posts go viral on TikTok and she's wicked excited. Go ahead.
Post what you love, and I think that when you do that, when it's not contrived, when you're really just posting that authentic, something that you were doing in your life anyway, and you just share about it, people connect with that.
Katie said that actually. Katie said that, when you share these stories, you make yourself into a real person that people can relate to and connect with. So like, real people are less likely to scam. Like when you feel like someone's a real person, you feel like you can trust them. They're not going to scam you. Like, because that's always everybody's fear. It's not really about you as much as it's about all the bad experiences they've had in the past. And they're just afraid of that kind of thing. Oh my God. Elisa. Okay. So Elisa says someone posted about hating onions, which I mean is sacrilege. Like I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with that.
That's like crazy.
I just don't even know. I don't know if we can have this conversation, but anyway, she had to comment, rightfully so. Because onions are life and they belong everywhere. Yes, that's exactly it. Like, I made a post about culottes. This was the post that actually taught me about the power of just being authentic. I made a post about culottes, and I said, culottes are so stupid. Like, why would you even have these things? They don't need to come back.
I love culottes.
Wow, was I in the minority on that one? Like, seriously, like, I basically was like, I eviscerated the culottes and then with one line. And like, people, everyone, I had like 100 people come up and be like, I have some in my, and nobody was mean about it, but it was like, I was clearly in the minority.
You are wrong. How does it feel?
I was like, whoa. But what do I care? I got 150 comments. That's the thing.
Right,
I don't care.
Sometimes it's fine. Like when people post those things about Brussels sprouts, do you love them or you hate them? When people just go bananas about Brussels sprouts, because it's like, you know, you have a visceral reaction to Brussels sprouts, so let's hear it.
I'm saying did you say it differently in America? C-U-L-O.
I think they say culottes.
Culottes? Is that how? I don't know how it's said here. I could be saying it wrong.
We call them culottes.
Hold on.
I'm getting new internet today, by the way.
Oh, how nice. Oh, listen, I got to be off the call in 4 minutes.
Yeah, what is going on at 10:45?
Okay, all right, so I'm just going to tell you because we're going to wrap up now. Okay, so last week I met this woman named Sharifa Hardy, and she's fucking blown my mind in like 1,000 different ways. And she runs a, every morning at 8 o'clock Pacific, she does a roundtable talk show where she invites culottes. They're those pants that are really big. They're like...
It looks like a skirt with legs.
So, anyway... So she has this talk show, which I think you should be on. I think all business owners should be on her. So her name is Sharifa Hardy. Yes, Sharifa, as in custard apple and pure person. Which is what that means in Urdu. And so she bets you sign up for her roundtable. You get on with 4 strangers. And basically you introduce yourself and you start to have a conversation and she just directs it as you go. You do not know the topic. It's just a conversation and she directs it. And she's really, really good at it. But more than just that, you make connections with people on the live so that like you're going to make connections with people. So you'll be on someone else's podcast. They'll be on your podcast. It's like you start to grow your network. So it's an amazing opportunity to grow your networking. But it was so good. I really learned a lot from just being in her presence and I wanted to do it again. And so I was like, oh, I got to go be on another one. In fact, I signed up to be a regular for her in February and March and April of next year. But she's booked up all the way till then, and she had a cancellation today. And so I was like, I'll take it. So I took it because I didn't want to wait until February to be. Well, the reason
I was bringing up my internet is because for those of you who plan to attend office hours, in the event that we have to cancel because I have no internet yet, because they're coming at noon, but they said it could take up to 3 hours.
So you may not have internet for office hours.
Correct. Okay. I didn't realize that until they told me today that it might be 3 hours. So I will have Christy cancel if I don't have internet back. But if I do have internet back, I will have 1 GB internet.
All right, nice.
The 21st century.
Okay, so for everyone who is in the squad, Saira's office hours may or may not be canceled based off her internet. For those of you who are not in the squad, you really want to get on the squad waiting list. You can go to www.socialstrategysquad.com. That's where you'll learn how to do things like create viral videos like Tiffany did. You'll learn how to, you'll get private coaching from me and Saira on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and you'll get to see me. Not Saira, just me on Mondays and Tuesdays going live. You don't need Saira, it's fine.
Thursday, Minessa, coaching Thursday. I don't do
Thursday. Sorry, Saira, my dates are awful. Use the calendar. We have a squad calendar. Use the calendar. Okay, I gotta go, sister. This has been awesome. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. You are amazing, Saira. I'm so glad that you woke up today.